Yes, us. Welcome to the Kefi Life Podcast. My name is Kiki Vale, and I'll be your guide to creating a life of Ola Kala, all is well. Together, we'll get back to the basics, and we'll explore fresh new ways to flourish in mind, body, and soul the Greek way. You can look forward to interviews, stories, essential self-care strategies, recipes, and actionable takeaway Ola Kala moments. This is going to be so much fun. Let's get going. Πάμε! Our Lexi for today is Ξυπόλυτος. Ξυπόλυτος, or barefoot. To be Ξυπόλυτος is liberating. You know it. Think of the times you remove your shoes after a long day at work, or consider when you remove your shoes after a strenuous workout. Your feet say, "Thank you, friend." Being barefoot is like taking in fresh air. Here are my favorite 3 surfaces to walk on for healthy and happy feet. Number 1, green grass. It's soft, fresh, and refreshing. Number 2, plain old dirt. This is also called earthing, and walking in the dirt can change the electrical activity in the brain and improve glucose regulation. And third, my most beloved barefoot walking, next to any thalassa or sea, particularly the Mediterranean Sea. This one is self-explanatory. Today, friends, get your Xypólytos on and do it on a favorite surface that makes your feet healthy. Eleolado, olive oil, has been celebrated in the civilized world for millennia, nearly eternal. The oil of this fruit has been more than just food to the cultures of the Mediterranean region. It's been medicinal, ceremonial, sacramental, and the foundation of great wealth and power. It is safe to say that olive oil is the ethos, the essence of Greek culinary culture. Today, the priceless and life-giving ingredients of this liquid gold can be delivered to you when you purchase your premium bottle of Kefi Life extra virgin olive oil from the region my parents were born, the Peloponnese. The coveted Koroneiki olive is extensively cultivated here in the southern part of Greece, which offers the unique microclimate needed to grow a fruit netting the utmost nutrient value for extra virgin olive oil. Kefi Life Extra Virgin Olive Oil, a boundless amount of value, high in antioxidants with anti-inflammatory properties, linked to good mood and improved mental health. Get your bottle of wellness today when you visit kefilife.shop. There are thousands of ways to live a well span that nets you energy, vibrance, and health. My goal here at Kefi Life headquarters is to present you with refreshing, new, yet ancient old ways of living an amazing and beautiful life. Today, our feet are the focus. So let's meet the person who will enlighten us. Her name is Nikki Graybill. She has her bachelor's in health sciences from Arkansas Tech University. Nikki is a nationally accredited personal trainer and group fitness instructor since 2007, a barefoot specialist. Hello. Reiki Level 2 practitioner and a yoga instructor, along with a lot of other certifications. And she's just amazing. She is amazing. Let's say hello to Nikki.
Hi. Hey, thank you so much for having me today. I just love you.
I love you. You are so awesome. I love your energy and your experience, and such a pleasure to meet you at Orange Theory in Florida. And what I really especially loved about your class, besides the fact that you have professional training, is that you always have positive things to say during the workouts. And that's how we got to know each other. So today we're going to talk about barefoot fitness.
Yes. My love.
Your love. Are you barefoot right now?
Oh, you better. You believe I am.
So Nikki, this sounds pretty self-explanatory, but let's talk about it. When it comes to fitness programming and conditioning, what is the rationale between training barefoot?
So when you think about when we train clients and create training programs, we train several different ways. We train our bodies to build strength. We train to have endurance, to increase flexibility, and to incorporate neuromuscular coordination. So why not train our feet like the rest of our bodies? Did you know, just putting you out there, did you know that we have 26 bones, 33 joints, and over 100 muscles, tendons, and ligaments in each foot?
Ugh, I did not know that. That sounds like a lot.
Yeah. So our feet support our whole skeletal system and our whole weight. So why are we not paying more attention to our feet in general?
Hey, that's a really good question. And, I can tell you when I start to pay attention to my feet is when they hurt.
Exactly. We all do. We're like, it's just painful, right?
Yes. And it's funny because we always think that the rest of our body is like the most important part, like our back or our knees, which they are. It is true. But like your feet, they support everything that you're doing in life.
Exactly. They, what I tell people all the time, our feet are our foundation. They take us everywhere we want to go in life. Why are we not treating them better? Why are we not giving them a little love and attention?
It makes a lot of sense. So you're a barefoot specialist. So in your opinion, as a fitness and yoga professional as well, why is sharing foot fitness education so important to you? And by the way, how long have you trained barefoot yourself? Something new. I didn't know this about you, Nikki.
Yes. So back in 2009, I was in Dallas. I was taking a Dallas Mania course, which is a huge fitness convention for fitness professionals where we all come together. I took a class that was called Willpower and Grace. And what sparked my mind was, in the description of the class, was barefoot and cardio. And as a runner, as someone that teaches tons of group fitness classes, I'm like, this is body weight and high cardiovascular class, and it's barefoot. So I got to see what this is all about. So in that 1 hour of class, I left sweat drenched. I was completely exhausted. Here I am, 19 years old or whatever I was back then. It just really blew my mind. I was like, oh my gosh, there's something about this. So back in 2009 is where I started my whole foot fitness journey. And throughout all the education that I've learned is that, of course, we are born barefoot, first off, simply. But there's just so much sensory information that comes from being barefoot. And over the years, by just wearing the shoes, that, of course, we have to wear shoes, right? But we lose so much sensory information and sensory feedback because we have lost that connection. And I'm a huge sayer of what we don't know until we know, right? This is a huge opportunity for me to kind of set myself out as a fitness professional, but it's a huge opportunity for me to share everything that I have learned because it is so important. And, that's why I do what I do is I help educate, and I love helping others feel better about themselves physically and emotionally, all of the things.
And education really is where it starts. We can get out there and try to make the most of something, whether it be our diet, our movement, our lives, our relationships. But it does make a difference with the success of what we're trying to do if we have some actual education behind it. So what have been for you, Nikki Graybill, the greatest benefits you've seen in yourself by training barefoot and others you've trained? So you just do your exercises barefoot. First of all, explain that. And then what are some of the benefits that you've seen?
So the benefits that I've seen just training barefoot in general has been my overall leg strength and balance. When it comes to lower leg strength, meaning ankle stability, ankle strength, muscles in my calves and in my shins. And I grew up playing soccer, playing volleyball, played sports my whole life, but I had weak ankles. And I always had to tape them. And honestly, now what I know, that's more of a Band-Aid to the real issues, which were weak ligaments and tendons. And, foot fitness wasn't a thing back then. We were just we put our ankles in ice buckets. We were taped up and we were sent back to the field. So, we didn't know what we didn't know back then. With other clients, just to say with teaching clients either one-on-one or group fitness, I've had a lot of women, especially if they've come to me because they have plantar fasciitis, that's real painful. I don't know if you've experienced plantar fasciitis, but
Yeah. When I
Yes,
trained for a half marathon, I got it. It was bad.
Yeah, it's awful. Just super painful. But, by being barefoot and actually connecting to our feet and training them just like we do in any other muscle group within the body, we build strength and we build strength in the weaknesses. And so a lot of women who have had plantar fasciitis, it has gone away. It has stayed away. Some other benefits have been relieving lower back pain, relieving some hip tension, tightness. So our feet are connected to everything. So I love the term or the little quote of become strong from the ground up, because everything's connected.
Love.
I do too. So good.
Oh my God. That is so good. That is so good. And you know what? There's a concept called grounding. We're going to talk about that in a second, because that is something that is very interested and popular. And let's do that in just a minute. But first, if you could offer one piece of advice for someone who's looking to start barefoot training, because I think I remember there was an elite athlete who was training for the Olympics and he trained barefoot. I wish I could remember his name. I can see his face, but I cannot remember his name. And he was from, I don't know, South Africa or something like that. And this guy trained barefoot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So any advice, just simply first, just start becoming more barefoot. That's the simple thing. Taking off your shoes in general. We wear shoes all of the time because, yes, we have to most of the time, unless if you're here in Florida and we're just barefoot all the time. But taking off your shoes and seeing which surfaces feel good, see what sensory feedback comes back to you while being barefoot. I say it as, wearing shoes is kind of like an example of wearing a cast on your arm for 8 to 10 hours a day. If we wear a cast on our arm 8 to 10 hours a day, every day for years and years and years, we're going to lose the functionality of our arm, right? So just by being barefoot, you're going to start simply engaging those muscles that you haven't used because you can't when you're wearing shoes.
Right now what I'm doing is I just took my shoes off as we were talking about it, and I put my feet on the chair leg. It's a low leg, and I'm spreading out my toes right now. It feels so good.
Doesn't it? And, this is semi a little creepy, but they say that our toes should be just as wiggly and you should have just as much coordination in your toes as you do in your fingers.
Okay,
so
guess what I'm doing?
Even like
I'm doing that. I'm wiggling my toes. I'm like, and then my legs are like, oh my God, that's not that easy. It's easy.
It's not easy.
But I feel like I'm doing some type of exercise on my toes and my calves are feeling something. So are yeah, that's good. We got to exercise our feet.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes.
Okay, so the first step would be just like take off your shoes and doing something as simple as like what we're doing and being mindful about our feet. You mentioned something earlier, which I want to respond to.
Sure.
You used the word sensory with bare feet, and you know which sensory I enjoy so much with bare feet, literally bare feet, is walking on a sandy beach.
Oh, it's my heaven. I just love it. Yes. Yes. So the beach and the sand is just a different surface than, say, your hardwood floors, all the things. As we all know, like the beach is healing in itself, hearing the waves. There's just something so incredibly special with, walking on the beach. But it also, because of the sand and just the simple texture, the sensory feedback that comes through, even just like walking on rocks, you got to walk more carefully, more mindfully. You're going to be using your core stabilization muscles even more so. But, any type of surface that you can walk on mindfully, you're going to be using all the different muscles that you wouldn't have if you're just simply in your tennis shoes.
I am so glad you're teaching barefoot fitness, because all these things that you're talking about, these tips and techniques, make complete sense. And it's easy to ignore or forget about the part of our body that really is quite instrumental to the rest of the well-being of our body. If there's someone out there that's listening, and I'm sure there is, what's going to be the first step for them to start a barefoot training exercise program?
So first off, just being a personal trainer, we always say, go to a doctor and get clearance before you start any type of programming. But second off, I would highly encourage to go through the website called cardioyoga.com. That's who I've been trained under since 2009. It used to be called the Willpower Method, but Stacey Lee Krause is my mentor. She has taught me all of the things. She's such an innovator. She's worked for Nike, Bosu, Peak Pilates, top fitness branding, but she's been highly in the barefoot field for so long. But cardioyoga.com, that's where I would suggest anyone to go to and see if there is an instructor in your area. Because we are barefoot specialists. We are trained in the feet, trained with high knowledge. And then you can go to a fitness class. So in that class, we always start each class with a barefoot warm-up. And that warm-up starts with toe raises. So you raise all 10 toes up as high as you can. So you can even do this right now if you want. Raising all 10 toes up and then spread them wide. Create space. Feel the webbing in between your toes. Your second one would be toe grips. Gripping the floor, connecting to the ground that's underneath you. You're going to feel the bottom of your arch rise by doing this. So it doesn't matter if you have a flat foot or if you have a high arch. I have a very flat foot, or I did at one point, but because over the years I now have built a tiny little arch for myself, built strength. So proven right here, you can build an arch because over time our arches will fall. Just, life in general, doing all the things, our arches will fall, but by doing toe grips simply, you're going to feel everything pull up. That's going to build strength. And then the third one is just simply rolling your ankles out and in, creating flexibility, mobility through your ankle joint. It's kind of like rolling your wrist out. Why are your ankles not as mobile as your wrists or your shoulder joints? It makes sense once we start really thinking about it.
It really does. And I think it's so, so, so important to take care of our feet. And I always like, if I get a massage, because I think massage is medicine. It's medicinal in a lot of different ways. That's another episode. But I always ask the massage therapist to please do some reflexology on my feet. And
100%.
100%. Back to grounding. What is it officially? What is grounding?
So grounding is just simply, in my opinion, the reconnecting of humans to the earth. Getting outside or inside if you have to, but just connecting your true self, your foot, what connects us to the ground.
And you had mentioned to me previously that grounding has been known to reduce inflammation, pain, stress. It improves blood flow. You can sleep better. And maybe that's truly because grounding is for the mind, body, and spirit. It's all three.
Oh, I think so. And, over the years, I truly feel for myself, I deal with anxiety. And I feel like I'm drawn to more barefoot classes, yoga, Pilates, all the things, because it feels so good in the moment and it gets me back into my body.
Makes a lot of sense. I love grounding and I love being outdoors. I love being in the sunshine, etc. In our, we just have a minute or two left. How do you, Nikki, take care of your mind, body, and spirit? Like, you're a yoga instructor, you're a personal fitness trainer, you work out. What is it do you think that you do that really keeps you well?
What I try to do is just, set clear and healthy boundaries for myself. Setting time to where I can go and walk the beach, being by myself, being in the open air, being in the sunshine, taking the time to just breathe and just let go, get my mindset more clear, find clarity within my day, the week, but just setting healthy boundaries so that I have that time to myself. Because, teaching, especially like in Orange Theory, we're around so many people in a given day. It's high sensory functioning. There's a lot going on, a lot of movement going on for hours in a day. So just setting a simple, even if it's just 5 minutes to be by myself, to find some quiet space, and just connecting to self, to how I'm feeling in that day.
P.S. Oh, yeah, we must be aware of what we're feeling and honor ourselves. P.S. I love your Orange Theory class. It's so fun. I look forward to it every time.
Oh, you brighten my day when I see you walk through those doors.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikki Graybill. In our final moment, we've been talking to Nikki Graybill. She's a professional trainer, personal trainer. She's a barefoot specialist, Reiki specialist, the whole 9 yards. In our final moment, I ask all my special guests this question, and you are absolutely sensational and special. Nikki, in my life, I've learned that.
In my life, I have learned that, as we all know, that love is the greatest of all things. And if we do not truly love who we are to our deepest core, how in the world do we ever truly love anyone else? So just taking a few minutes each and every day to truly love who you are in that very moment is just the best thing, the best feeling. You're going to bring love into your life. You're going to share love with others. So that's just the one thing that, I've learned and just try to share with everyone. That's how I end every single yoga class.
It's the greatest thing ever. Love you.
Love you.
Nikki Graybill, we will have you back again. This was a fabulous segment. How about if we have you back and maybe talk about emotional fitness next time?
Oh, I would love to. Thank you so much for having me.
It's been our pleasure. Talk to you soon, and you have a super day.
Oh, you too. Thank you.
Stay right there. Up next, your weekly takeaway to keep it all as well. Hola Kala.
This Hola Kala moment brought to you by the law offices of Liston and Centillus. Ranked #1 by the leading lawyers network since 2010, taking care of all your real estate needs.
A whole person method of feeling good mirrors the 5 senses of the Orthodox faithful. They include sight, smell, sound, taste, and touch. These are easy to accomplish, and I'll share some of the examples that I use at home. For sight, I plant beautiful and bright colored flowers so that I can view them each morning when I wake up. For smell, I sniff citrus essential oils. For sound, I listen to music that inspires me. For taste, I eat fruit. For touch, I massage my feet with a little Kefi Life extra virgin body butter made with basil, orange, and our olive oil from the Peloponnese in Greece. Friends, please do experience this sensation of delicious body butter on your feet by purchasing at KefiLife.com. Hola Kala, all is well when you treat your senses to the good things that heal your heart and soul.
Kiki Vale is the founder of Kefi Life. She is passionate about whole person wellness and living a fulfilled life. Her Kefi Life podcast is created to simply and naturally help you harmonize the mind, body, and soul the Greek way. Visit KefiLife.com and check out Kiki Vale on LinkedIn and on Twitter. Join us again next time for more positive energy and inspiration on Kefi Life.